Salibonani Makati. Hello everyone, welcome back to another broadcast of the African Diaspora News Channel with me, your host, Maritawana Sitole Imale. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you're most definitely welcome. Please do not hesitate to like, share, and of course subscribe and hit that notification bell for more content. Now, today, unfortunately, I have a bit of a sad story. Now, a Zimbabwean woman who was taking her epileptic son to a public hospital in Pretoria, South Africa, was actually turned away, and she got the shock of her life just because she was judged for the color of her skin. Now, she was turned away by Operation Dudula members. Now, for those who do not know, Operation Dudula is a movement in South Africa by South Africans where they are protesting that the government put South Africans first before any other foreigner, and they fight against illegal foreigners. And I'll explain why I think it's weird for them to mention them as foreigners, especially if they're Zimbabweans or Malawians or any other African nationalities in Southern Africa, to be specific. Now, this hospital by the name of Kalafong Provincial Tertiary Hospital had been taken over by Operation Dudula members. Now, many other South African nationals who are dark in complexion were also turned away after being told that they are too dark to be South Africans. Before midday, they had turned away more than 10 people, some of whom needed chronic medication. Now, among those who were turned away was a 40-year-old domestic worker who is Zimbabwean, whose passport had expired last year. Now, and I quote, "I was referred to the hospital for cervical treatment or cervical cancer tests. I have a letter," the woman said, who was asked not to be named and tried to plead, but she was sent away. Now, speaking to the Sowetan, a South African newspaper, shortly after she was told to go back to Zimbabwe to seek medical treatment, the woman said she felt embarrassed, and I quote, "All I want is help. There's a chance I might have cancer, and the sooner doctors can check, the sooner I can get help." Now, using a loud hailer, a representative from the Operation Dudula movement, who goes by the name of Riabetswe Tulare, announced, and I quote, "If you're not a South African national and you do not have a valid ID, passport, or asylum document, please turn back. You crowd our hospitals and you finish our pills. Go back to your countries and get pills there." Now, 4 Ethiopian nationals were also prohibited from entering the hospital, and a Zimbabwean woman who was told to leave with her 13-year-old son, who actually suffers from epilepsy, and he needed medication. Now, I'll give a brief personal opinion of the story myself. I do understand Operation Dudula's purpose is obviously to, try and get illegal foreigners out of the country, especially those who are actually working in South Africa. I believe it is fair, and obviously, according to the law, that's what's supposed to happen. And I understand them putting, when it comes to employment, they're putting themselves first. Very understandable as well. What I don't understand is this in particular about turning away someone just because they're dark-skinned. Okay, so what if someone is actually living in your country legally? They're actually working in your country legally. So are you still going to turn them away just because they're dark-skinned? Sounds like self-hate to me. Sounds like these people actually hate themselves. And then my question is, what about those who are white and who are living in South Africa legally? Those who are Chinese and who are living in South Africa legally? Operation Dudula, from my own research, from what I've observed, they never seem to talk about these Chinese illegal, these illegal Chinese nationals living in South Africa and these illegal white people living in South Africa, especially in a city like Cape Town. They're always attacking black people from other countries. On the issue of foreigners, I do not understand. In Zimbabwe here, we have surnames like Dube, Ndlovu, Kumalo. Surnames like myself that I have, Liwayo, which is Zulu. All these surnames are Zulu. And in South Africa, those surnames are also there. So if I have any of the surnames, especially my surname, Liwayo, does that actually mean that I'm still a foreigner? If in my ancestral blood, there were Zulu people, one of my ancestors were Zulu, does that mean that I'm still a foreigner? Because remember that the white people are the ones who created borders. So if it wasn't for borders, would we still be calling each other foreigners? Would South Africans still be calling other black nationals, African nationals in Africa foreigners. I don't know. This is just my own personal opinion, and I'm very curious to know what y'all think of this story. Do you think Operation Dudula, what they did was right, or was it wrong, or what do you think? Please let us know in the comment section, and please do not hesitate to also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at African Diaspora News Channel. And also you can find me, Maritawana, on Instagram and Twitter at Maritawana ZW. From me and the team, it's bye for now. I'll see you in another broadcast. Cheers.